Hey y'all, I'm Amber, welcome back to Cat Reads, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my weekly wrap-up. So this week has been a huge disaster reading-wise. I've only read one thing, and that one thing was connected to the Harry Potter world. So even though I have never read those things before, it didn't really feel like it was a first-time read for me because I was already familiar with Roll the Course. And since it was so connected to that world, it almost feels like it doesn't count as a first-time read for me. But then I ended up DNFing 4 books, which really was upsetting because it was like one after the other, and I'm starting to get worried that I may never enjoy a new book again. Hopefully this week will be better for me because I really need something to work out for me. So what I actually did finish was the Hogwarts Classics, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Tales of Beedle the Bard, and Quidditch Through the Ages. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them I absolutely loved. I just wish that there had been so much more. There was just a lot I could have learned about the start of the Ministry of Magic, which was very interesting to me. I really wanted to get more into the political side of it all and just the creation of their government. That was very interesting to me, and the hints that I got really captivated my imagination. Then we have Tales of Beedle the Bard. I absolutely enjoyed the tales themselves, and what I really enjoyed was the added bonus of Dumbledore's notes. Now, I'm not a huge sports person, and I think kudos to her that she was able to write this and make it feel very sportsy, because I'm not a sports person, as I just mentioned, so it felt like it and it bored me to tears, but I did think at the same time that there was some very interesting and cool factoids about the start of Quidditch and how it became what it is today. So it was cool, just wasn't my favorite out of the 3. In the end, I gave Hogwarts Classics an average of 4.5 stars. And because I read that, it should not be a surprise that I read Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the first book in the series by J.K. Rowling. I just couldn't resist taking this off the shelves, and I hadn't actually planned to read it, but then I read the first paragraph, and I just kept on going. So I am now about a third of the way through the second book. So it's just so hard to resist reading these books because they're just so easy to just escape into, and I guess lately that's what I've been into, escapism, so it is what it is. And now sadly we have to talk about the books that I DNF'd. I'm first going to talk about the 2 books that I disliked the most. The first book was George Washington's Surprise Attack by Philip Thomas Tucker. Now I'm most surprised about this one because I was really looking forward to this, and I thought that I was going to learn a whole lot about the specific battle, and I've never had any major issues with nonfiction work, so I just didn't expect to have major problems, and I did. I feel like Tucker is untrustworthy. He skews facts to fit in his own picture of things, what he wants it to look like, and he has this huge bias, and you can hear it all the way through, and that really bothered me. Distasteful to me that you're skewing facts to fit your own picture of things that you want to show, and this bias makes you untrustworthy because this is supposed to be nonfiction. You're supposed to be giving us the facts, and instead I'm only hearing you. So added onto that, the writing was pretty atrocious. He didn't seem to be able to use any different descriptive words for things. He kept using the same word, and it was always and it felt like it was on every single page, and it got to the point where I was physically cringing at seeing that word. So I just couldn't take it, and I ended up DNFing it. The second book that I disliked the most was The Mists of Avalon by Marianne Zimmer Bradley. You can talk about what you don't like about religion, but she was using this story to bash Christianity. Now, I know Christianity has had issues in the past, and even today, but it does not give you the right to bash other people's beliefs, and to use the story that I have always enjoyed to do so really hurt me. And I was expecting a really good, entertaining, something that was going to captivate my imagination, and instead I got bashing of religion and just this almost pure hate coming off the pages in the first 50 to 60 pages. And not only that, we have Vivienne, who this author makes out like you're supposed to be loving her and liking her a lot, but she's very manipulative as she treats everybody's lives like her own playthings. Then you have a Rain who lets other people walk all over her lives and just whines about it instead of actually getting on her own 2 feet and standing up and saying, hey, this is wrong, I'm going to make this choice instead. And I just didn't like it. She was taking a story that I've always loved and had always captured my imagination and was ruining it for me, so I just couldn't finish it. I guess for the last 2 books, I could be grateful that they weren't so crushing my expectations, because I wasn't really going into reading these books expecting a lot out of them. The 3rd book I DNF'd was Family Matters by Rita Mystery. Now for this, as you may remember from my TBR, I wasn't sure about it. I was going into it very wary, and I DNF'd it pretty quickly. I don't know what it is about Mystery's writing style, but there's just something about it that bores me. But this is the one that I'd be most likely willing to pick up in the future and see if maybe it was just where I was at the time. Lastly, I DNF'd The Corrections by Jonathan Franzen. I DNF'd this because although the story had potential, the writing was so over the top that the story itself seemed to be getting lost in it, and that it was just seemed like it was taking forever to get to the point of what he was trying to say. And the reality is, I just seem not to have as much patience lately to endure books that I'm not enjoying, and so that's just the way it is for me right now. But I am currently reading The Turner House by Angela Flournoy. I'm actually enjoying this one, which I wasn't expecting considering I didn't like The Corrections, which is a family saga, and that's a family saga, so I wasn't sure if I was going to be enjoying it. But the writing style is wonderful. The story itself is interesting so far, and I'm curious to see where it's going to take me. I am also, as I've already mentioned, I'm currently reading the 2nd book of the Harry Potter series, Chambers of Secrets, and I'm about a 3rd way in it. I would love to hear from you if you've read any of these books. What are you currently reading? I would love to chat with you down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and keep smiling.